Oh, it's lit. We prime time. Subscribe, like, and share. Give us your feedback. Yo, I'm Manny at the plate and Kobe off a steal. Gretzky for the goal and Brady at the wheel. I'm a game changer, the Osaka of the tennis. And breaking scoreboard, Simone of the Olympics. Defense and big business, the Mayweather who way better. From the greatness of Jim Brown, I've been down. Talking sports before I was off the porch. Screaming Bo knows while Jordan was playing horse. Late 80s getting torched by the drive and the shot. 2016 got a ring off the three in the block. They eased to forgot the cardiac kids. Price and Doherty, Bale in the Indian years. This who it is. Your host DeeTrynt, yo, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer. Yo, your host DeeTrynt, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer. DeeTrynt, game changer, sports talk, industry sport. That was really good. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, I jumped in earlier on my social media page. Make sure y'all follow DeeTrynt on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All right. Follow InDaStreetzSportz on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and YouTube as well. All right. But I'll talk about these NBA trades. All right. Teams with, because there are a lot of teams that have like pieces that would fit well in other places. All right. They're not doing the best where they at, but in other places, these cats might thrive. Um, so let's look at the teams with the most pieces to trade. All right. Teams that, you know, have a lot of pieces and probably should be doing better than they're doing, but for some reason, all of that stuff just ain't working. Uh, I will start with Sacramento. Sacramento got pieces, bro. So I'm not understanding how it just looks so bad. What I will say with Sacramento is Harrison Barnes does not fit on this team. Um, they like who is the glue guy for that team? All right, like who are you building around? I like De'Aaron Fox, but I don't know if he's a guy you build around. I like Buddy Yield, but I don't know if it's a guy you build around. And then you still got Halliburton, and you still got Davion Mitchell. Like you got 3 point guards that can start in this league somewhere. You have multiple big men who could start elsewhere in this league. Rashad Holmes, Marvin Bagley, Alex Len, Tristan Thompson, Damian Jones. Um, you're just holding a lot of people hostage. So I feel like this team should be definitely ready to trade during the deadline. But I think they're a team that should be trying to trade a 4 star. If you can get a glue guy in here, it'll be nice. They're significantly underusing Marvin Bagley. I hope he gets to go somewhere else. At the standings though, right now, Sacramento 18-32. They're gonna get a top pick, whoever that is. But another team that has a lot of pieces, but ain't doing nothing. The Indiana Pacers. Indiana, it's mind-boggling how bad Indiana is. Demonis Sabonis, Malcolm Brogdon, Karis LeVert, Chris Duarte, Miles Turner, Jordan Holiday, Lance Stevenson, T.J. McConnell, Dwayne Washington Jr., Jeremy Lamb, Torrey Craig. Like, it makes no sense that Indiana is 18-32 as well. So those are two teams where I'm like, y'all have a lot of pieces and no direction.
y'all should be looking to trade. Atlanta is another piece, is another team that has a lot of pieces like New York. Um, OKC is another team like that as well, and so is San Antonio. So I would be shocked if all these teams aren't involved in some type of trades, multi-team trades, because you have pieces that could fit. Like for instance, right, with Sacramento, right? Um, I'll take Toronto for instance. Could you imagine a Buddy Yield playing a two in Toronto with that team? I'm just thinking of, just thinking about where pieces fit. As I said, could you imagine Marvin Bagley playing in Detroit with Cade and them? That would be nice. Um, I said something about Sabonis going to the Hornets. I like that a lot. Um, Washington probably is going to get rid of Beal because I just don't. I think it's just time. The John Wall, Bradley Beal eras come to an end there. They couldn't get it done. But elaborating on something I said on my Facebook video this morning. Um, Bradley Beal for Ben Simmons is just one of them trades that I think should definitely happen. Because I like the trade for both teams. Ben gets to go somewhere where he's the undoubted star. He has some pieces around there that will fit around how he plays. He wants to pass and play defense, run the ball, penetrate. You got Kuzma over there. You got Dinwiddie over there. KCP. You could arguably play them at the 2, 3, and 4. You got a Thomas Bryant down there that can play the 5, or a Gafford who can play the 5. So you got a good defense at your point in your 5. You still got Avija and Hachimura Ish. Well, I think Ish is in Charlotte. But you got a few guys down there that you can rotate. And Bradley Beal with Joel Embiid, that's just crazy. This Sabonis thing though, I like Sabonis. I like Demontis Sabonis a lot. Um, I think him and Malcolm Brogdon should really be the cornerstone of that team in Indiana. But you know, him and Miles Turner been playing together for about 3 or 4 seasons, and it's just mind-boggling how bad Indiana is. I mean, they're in our division, so stay bad, break the team up. It only works in our favor. However, I don't want none of the teams in our division to get their players. You know, you know how crazy it would be if Karis LeVert ended up with the Bulls or the damn Bucks. We don't want that. We ain't have. But speaking on our division and speaking on my team, these Cleveland Cavaliers, I really, really, really want to see what they gonna do at this deadline, bruh. And people talking about Cleveland might get Dennis Schroeder. And I'm just telling you right now, I don't like the idea of picking up Dennis Schroeder. I just really don't. Nothing about that deal says it helps the Cavs in no type of way. Um, Dennis Schroeder, cool. His contract is very friendly. It's only a 1 year deal, only worth about 6 million, 6.4 million, I think. But I just don't see where you have room for another undersized guard. You already have Sexton, who's clearly long term in this franchise. So him and Garland are going to be the point. Having Rondo down there is cool. The question is though, you know, who solidifies the scoring off the wing? it can't just be Garland. And, there are going to come games when, even though it's hard, when it happens, you have games where nobody in a certain position group is not hitting on your team. There'll be games where none of the twos and threes are really hitting. Chetty has been more consistent. Okoro is, he's a defensive stud. Uh, Lamar Stevens is like the young guy tweener, even though he's older than Okoro. Marking and filling that role at three. But, I was saying earlier, man, if the Cavs could get Eric Gordon and Terrence Ross, it would be hard not to give the Cavs a chance to come out in the East. Because those guys will play enough team defense to help. They'll be able to stay in front of their players long enough to help the defense. But the type of firepower that you would have with a Rondo, Gordon, Ross, Love, my guy, I'm talking about, it would get nasty. All right. Like I say though, you could lose some guys. A Dean Wade, a guy you could lose. A Lamar Stevens is a guy you could lose. Kevin Pankos is a guy you could lose. Um, you know, and I'm only saying those names because realistically, the Cavs not trading none of their draft picks, bro. I'm not saying it's impossible. I just don't see a world where Windler, Osman, Okoro, or Sexton get traded. Because those guys are young enough and they're your own picks to where you can manage them as, not role players, but specialty players right now. Okoro comes in, provides good D, transition break, scoring opportunities, a wing that can play above the rim consistently. Osman gives you, a tweener, a guy who can hit shots, who can be a scoring punch, who can provide pretty good defense. Um, but if you added Terrence Ross to that rotation group, and I know people keep wondering why you keep saying Terrence Ross. Because Terrence Ross is a veteran who knows how to win in this league. He has been to multiple playoff opportunities. You know what I'm saying? And he showed up in the playoffs, even if the rest of his team did. He is a guy who doesn't have a problem coming off the bench. He's not going to be demanding starting opportunities or like that. On top of that, he's going to get a chance to legitimately play for a top spot in the East. And, he will help develop or further the development of a Okoro and an Osman, in my opinion. Eric Gordon is the guy that you're blessed to get because you lost Rubio and Sexton. A guy who can come off that bench and light it up, who can stretch the floor, who can create off the dribble. Um, and then you add him to the rotation of Garland, Rondo, Brandon Goodwin, um, you know, or Colin Sexton when he comes back. That is a pretty nice rotation. Uh, the big man rotation is already good. You got Allen Mobley, you got Love. You can follow back with marketing and drop him down, or have Ed Davis. Um, so I just think the Cavs team is so nice, and they don't want to mess up the chemistry. Um, but if you move certain guys, you're going to mess up the chemistry. So being able to use Ricky Rubio's contract, his trade exception, injury exception, plus the exception from what they got from JaVale McGee. Um, you know, those would be the two guys I target. Veteran guys, they only got a couple years left on their contract. So ultimately, the year Love comes off his contract, they'll be coming off their contracts. That's easily 60, 70 million back to the books. At that time, Garland will be coming off contract, or he'll be ready to get re-signed. So that'll be a lot of money back. Plus, it'll be a cap increase. Uh, those are the guys. One could argue that the Cavs need another defensive backup big man, and I'm not opposed to that. But having Ed Davis down there helps a lot because one of the biggest parts of defense is rebounding, actually getting and maintaining a possession. And Ed Davis is a great rebounder on both sides of the floor. Um, he is a veteran presence down there. And, having veteran guys at every level helps your young team. So, like I say, if just say if it wasn't Eric Gordon and Karis LeVert, and we had ended up with get a combination of Dennis Schroeder and Terrence Ross and Eric Gordon, but we ended up with a combination of Dennis Schroeder and Karis LeVert. It's not necessarily bad, but having Dennis Schroeder would make you look at Colin Sexton different, in my opinion. Just because of the type of way Dennis Schroeder plays and how he looks when he's playing at a high level. Um, I'm not saying he's better than Sexton, but it's just the optics. Sometimes it gets to a point where I'm like, well, I hope Sexton plays like that. And then people come expecting Sexton to come back and play a certain way when that's really not his game. Um, uh, so speaking on the Cavs too as well, All-Star Weekend is upon us. Well, it ain't upon us, but it's coming up. All right, it will be All-Star Weekend in about 3 weeks. All right, and Cleveland should have somebody in every competition. I feel like Allen and Garland should be playing in the the All-Star game. I feel like Okoro and Mobley should be playing in the Rising Star Challenge. Um, I feel like Mobley should be in the skills competition challenge. I feel like Isaac Okoro should be in the dunk contest. I feel like Garland and Love should be in the 3-point contest. I just feel like, with the way the Cavs have been playing, the way they've turned it around, the way that they're such a legitimate threat, without having LeBron having something to do with it. I think that should be celebrated a little more. I just feel like, the Cavs should have they should have somebody in every competition that's going on the whole weekend. Even on down to the celebrity game, it should be legit Cleveland born stars playing in the celebrity game. Y'all got excuse me. Playing in the celebrity game. This should be a weekend that Cleveland should definitely be allowed to celebrate. They're coming around. The team looks good. They're young. Arguably the best young core in the game right now, as far as production goes. Um, so I need Cleveland to show out for the All-Star game. I need my city to show out, man. I need y'all to really show out, okay? I need y'all to let them know how we do it down here. I mean, we already got like the best food in the country. All right. And I would debate anybody on that. We can have cookouts with all your Southern style or West Coast style and whatever you got. All right. Cleveland got the best food in the world. If you want to eat good, you come to Cleveland, Ohio, where you can eat good. All right. Shout out to Yana. He let y'all know. JJ let y'all know. Kendrick Perkins let y'all know. We got good eats down. But you know, this should be a monumental weekend for Cleveland, the Cleveland franchise, the city of Cleveland. It should definitely help cure a lot of disappointment that we suffered from the Browns. But the Cavs look good, bro. The Cavs look good. Boston probably gonna make some moves. Clearly they don't want to break up Tatum and Brown, but you know, in order to build a team around them, they're really going to have to decide which young guys they keep. In my opinion, they could do this and run Tatum and Brown into 2 and 4, but you're going to need a legitimate defensive center. I mean, a defensive three that will allow Tatum to really play the four. You got Peyton Pritchard down there, where I think could be they point guard in the future. And then you got guys like Neesmith and Langford who you could bring off as reserves. Um, but I think they definitely about to blow that whole team up. Marcus Smart is a guy who's probably going to get moved. His contract probably not that attractive, but you know, I mean, Marcus Smart in the Dallas or something. You know, I mean, Marcus Smart a point guard, so he could go to New York. He could be a good point guard for the New York Knicks. Who knows? But you know, I just want to be able to come on here right quick. I'm gonna definitely try to get back on later on in the evening. Try to bring y'all some updates from the basketball trading deadline, and potential of whatever talks going on. I'm gonna dig in my bag and see what I can find out. But it is a pleasure talking to you all today. Please like, share, and subscribe, follow, give us your feedback. Let us know what you think. If you got suggestions on topics, things you'd like to hear, you may cover your team or something like that, or you want to come on and spit your own stuff, man, feel free to come fuck with us, all right? DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, Industry Sports, man. We'll get up with y'all in a second. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Yo,
You hear me?